everybody, I'm Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni and the Widow Ruckelshaus. And I don't know if you can tell, but these are facial tissue boxes. And so I am going to cut these up into cards that I can use in my journals. And this is something I do every once in a while because I go through a lot of tissues. Most of these are Great Value brand. This one is Scotty's and this one is Kleenex. But I get them at Walmart. I put in my order and pick them up, so I don't really choose. They choose for me. So I get a lot of blue mostly. But anyway, I'm going to clear these off. I'm going to get out my guillotine cutter and we're going to cut some up. We're not going to cut all these up on video, but just to kind of show you how I go about it. It's not too hard, but it's a great way to use up those tissue boxes rather than throwing them away. And sorry if I just got my head into the video. I had to reach under my desk to get my cutting board. Okay, does this show up? It doesn't all show up in the screen, but I think it's going to be okay. All right. Okay, so what I do is I try to very carefully pull these things open, and you're going to have some of the cardboard stuck to it, unfortunately, like that, but I'm going to cut that part off anyway, so that's okay. And I open up the other side too, so I can just flatten it all. And usually I do these kind of assembly line. I'm not going to do that right now because it would take a long time and not show you very much. So I'm just going to show you on a couple of these boxes, and then, you know, that'll be it. So this is like one of the chores that I do sometimes. Saturday is kind of my chore day for my crafts. And so, you know, either I like organize or I work on things like this. Cat hair inside there. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have cat hair everywhere. Okay, so like these are going to be really small ones. Those, and I don't have any use for this. If you were really, really careful in taking your tissue out, then you could use this as something that you sew on or glue onto a page, and then you'd have, like, you know, something that you could put in there. That'd be kind of fun. And you could leave one side open if you wanted to, or make it something that goes in here through that opening. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just cut this into sections. Okay, and I do like to use a guillotine chopper for this because my regular cutting board doesn't go through anything this heavy. I think it can, but it's hard to do it. So one of the nice things is that these ridges from where it folds, you can just put on the edge of your chopping block, and that way you're cutting right on that. You're cutting straight and you're cutting right where the fold is, so that it doesn't show up on any of your cards. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off the parts that I don't want. And you don't have to really put it up against the edge like I am, just as long as you've got that fold there on the corner. Okay. For a while, at first, I was like cutting things like these little parts and stuff. You know, I have so many Kleenex boxes that now, let me pull my trash closer. I don't bother with that. Now I want to cut this off. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could cut this piece like a little bit bigger and cut off the Great Value part, and then I've got every day. And if I wanted to make it, you know, bigger like that, I could cut off the soft facial tissues part, but it would just say every day at the bottom of the card, and that would be kind of cool. I'm not doing that today though. Okay, and then I'm going to cut. I'm not going to use this one. Like this, and cut this. Okay, and then these ones, I've got that Great Value thing there. Let's cut off the tag part first. Sometimes if I don't have anything stuck to that, I will keep that tab there, and then I can use it as a pocket that has a tab on the side, and that's kind of fun. Okay, here I'm going to cut off the Great Value part to show you how we could do that. Make this into a card that says every day. Okay, now this side here goes out some, so I'll take care of that. Let's say that I want to cut off the facial tissues part. We can do that. This is going to be a small card. And and that's fine. Okay, and then because this one here, see, like if I line this up, it goes at an angle. That's just how that part of the box works. And so I'm gonna cut that angled part off. So you end up with all different sizes of cards, and that's really nice. Let me see here. I'm gonna cut off the edge here so it's straight, and then I can, yeah. Okay, and then I can get this up here and not have it be crooked. That's already straight. So that's like basically it. I won't finish this box. I'm going to get a larger box to show you, and it's pretty much the same thing, but you actually end up with a lot more. So I'm carefully opening this as carefully as I can, and because I get so many Kleenex boxes, I don't worry about it if one tears, you know, it's just okay. So cut off that part and that's fine. And like I said, I usually do this assembly line, so I'll like open up all the boxes that I have at once. Okay, now where's the little edge where it connects? Here it is, right here. Okay, so like that. Okay, so I'm opening that up. Okay, so I'm going to cut off those edges, and since I'm using a guillotine cutter, I can cut through 2 layers at once. Makes it very nice. Line those up. It's kind of hard, but I did get through. Okay, so that's no good. I don't need that for anything. But this, I can cut off these 2 sides, and I've got a nice card. Okay. So let's cut off the other side. It just makes it easier to work with if you cut off those side pieces, first. And one thing with a guillotine cutter, it helps if you just cut fast. I was cutting kind of slowly because I was talking, but I should just go right through really fast. Okay, so I'll cut these into smaller cards, and then this, I don't really want to use this. I could use this and this. I might. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah, I went to that kind of slowly. Okay, and then this whole middle section, this is bent and everything, so I'm not going to use that. But what I like about the long boxes is that you can cut these side cards, these sides of the boxes, into several cards. Okay, so like if this didn't say Kleenex here, where's the other side? Oh, that says Kleenex too. On the Great Value ones, they don't. Okay, so I'm going to just cut that part off. And I could make this into a little card. I might, because sometimes I make really small envelopes and stuff, so that could go into it. This is all bent, so I'm going to throw that part away. But usually you get several cards out of it, and I usually do one that's kind of long, like that, or even, okay, let's say that this is one of those sides that looks really nice, cutting them into like 3 long strips, and maybe a couple of those strips I would cut into 2 pieces, but one I'd leave long. So yeah, you can just get a lot of different things out of it. So it's really a nice source of cards. And then what you can do is, like this part here, I could cut that off, or I can just leave it. I mean, because it's a junk journal, so that's okay. Sometimes I will chop the corners, but usually I just leave them whole like this, because my corner clipper thing doesn't work on it, so I have to cut it on here. Sometimes I'll glue like some kind of decorative paper to the back here for writing on. Sometimes I'll just leave it like this. I'll punch a hole in it, and I'll tie some ribbon through it, or some thread, or just something pretty. Anyway, so that's what I do with my cardboard, my Kleenex boxes. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you need me to show you more examples, then I can do that. But I think you've probably got it. Oh, this is another thing that I like to do too. On some of them, if they're the right size, this one's not quite the right size, but I'll put like these cards on the back of them so that it'll say like a Bible verse or something. There's just lots of things that you can do with them. So they make really nice cards. They're nice and sturdy, not this, but they're nice and sturdy, and they just make really nice cards in your journals. Now, the one drawback is you don't want to include too many of these in one journal because they will make the journal super, super thick. So I guess like if you were making one for a child maybe and you only had like 10 pages or something, then that would work really well. But for most adult journals, I will use maybe 10 of these at the most in one journal because it just makes it too thick. So, all right. I think that's it for that. I just thought that would be fun to show you in case you haven't thought of using your tissue boxes. And I love you all. Bye-bye.